Thank you for coming to this holiday presentation on stopping dementia and how to spot the signs of dementia, things to look for with seniors and loved ones. I'll be your presenter tonight. My name is Houston Vetter. A lot of people call me Doc Results. I'll be presenting for stoppingdementia.com, and I'll tell you a little bit more about myself first. But before I tell you about myself, let me give you our official promise to you. Our official promise to you is that you'll learn something you didn't know tonight, and you'll learn a valuable tool. Well, let me spell that right. Valuable tool and test you can use so you don't have to worry about if someone has or will get dementia. You'll know what to do so you have less stress and worry about loved ones with dementia. You'll know what to do to get a better quality of life for people that you care about. You're going to learn about the current statistics about dementia, Alzheimer, and memory loss. And when you stay to the end of the webinar, we're going to give you a list and a video of dementia symptoms and a video to use so you don't have to guess what to do about dementia. Is this a bold promise? Yes, and we will keep it. Do you remember me saying when you stay to the end of the webinar, we'll give you a free list and a video of dementia symptoms? Well, we want to do even more than that. The experts who tell us how to put on webinars says that right here in the presentation, we're supposed to offer you a free informational gift worth so many dollars as an enticement for you to stay to the end of the presentation. Well, in addition to giving you that free head knowledge, what we want to do is we want to give you actual experience worth staying to the end of the presentation. So let me ask you, how much is information plus experience, know-how, and clarity worth to you? $500, $1,000? How much is it worth to you? Well, you're going to find out in just a minute the value in this program for you, or why you came on this webinar. It's important enough, this is important enough for you and I, for us to close off all other interruptions. Close off your IM, your text, your chat, Skype, turn off your phone or put it on vibrator and put it away from you. You could even get up and close the door and tell your family not to bother you for the next 90 minutes because you're about to learn something very important. And to prove how important this is, let's do a quick test. You can use with your loved ones to determine how likely they are to get some form of dementia. It'll let you know for yourself as well. You can even feel it. When we do this, you can actually feel it. So what I want you to do is, if you're ready to learn something that will let you know you or someone else has dementia, please type yes into the chat box. Good, I see some yeses coming in. John, JJ, you getting a lot on there?
Yep, a ton of yeses coming through.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so everyone, here's what we're going to do. All I want you to do is to hold your head straight. Take your first two fingers and your thumb of either hand, put them together, put them about a half a foot out in front of you, and lift it straight up in the air. Lift so that your fingers are up above your head out in front of you. And with your head straight, I want you to take your eyes and I want you to turn them upwards and look at the point of your fingers. And as you're doing that, I'm going to count to 30, okay? Just hold your fingers there and look at your fingers with your head held straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Now you can put your hand down. And let me ask you this. Do you feel the pull, the tug, the tension in your head? Are some of you starting to get headaches? Just type in the chat box that yes, you feel the pressure in your forehead. 98% of the people, when we do this test with them, feel the pressure in their forehead. A lot of people start to feel like they're getting a headache. It feels achy. It feels tough. It feels there's a lot of tension there. I see the responses coming in. JJ, what does the responses look like?
Yep, getting lots of responses. A lot of people agreeing with you. They feel that pressure.
Okay. Let me tell you what that simple little test just proved to you and to me. And it proved that you and I are adults, because what causes dementia from a structural point of view, which we'll talk about a little bit later, is the fact that when we're younger, when we're children, we're always creating new neural pathways. See, neural pathways are basically the highways of our body. It's how information travels, how the energy travels, how our thoughts travel from unconscious to conscious to body movements. To raise my hand, the neurons have to travel down the neural pathways for me to raise my hand. For me to speak, the neurons have to travel to allow me to speak words. And the same thing. So when we're younger, we're learning, we're constantly doing activities and things of that nature. So we're always building new neural pathways. So what the problem with as we grow older, we get set in our ways and we actually know everything, and we get set in our patterns. And there's nothing wrong with being set in our patterns, because it's what we use to go through life with. But when we get set in our patterns, we do not build new neural pathways. And what happens with dementia or Alzheimer's or memory loss, it's as known in the industry, the cause of it is a degradation or loss of neural pathways. So this is what's important. This webinar is about the signs that dementia is happening and what to do about it. Well, what do we want? We want more neural pathways. And why do we want them? We want them now because neural pathways are like the interstate. They're the roads. That's how we travel, how things travel in the body. And because here in the United States, we have an issue now with the infrastructure. People are complaining about the roads and the potholes. And the city that I live in is one of the biggest issues in the mayoral race. The fact that the infrastructure, the highways have potholes in them. You can't drive down any street without tearing up your car. So as the neural pathways degrade and lose their smoothness and their ability to allow things to travel, that's how dementia and Alzheimer's and memory loss and all the things that come with that show up and happen. The reason for this webinar is because the fastest growing medical industry issue, which means it's affecting more and more people day in and day out, is the problem of dementia and Alzheimer and memory loss. Well, let me give you a little quick background about myself so that you'll understand why I can present this information. I started out just like you as a child. I was born in a place called Petoskey, Michigan, which is in northern Michigan. I lived there 3 weeks. I remember it well. Not really. But from there, we moved. My mother moved me and my brother to a place called Shelbyville, Tennessee, which is the middle of Tennessee, which was a lot warmer than Michigan. And Shelbyville is known for two things. It's the walking horse capital of the world. It's where they make the number 2 lead pencil. That's just their claim to fame. The number 2 lead pencil is what we used in high school and in school. I don't know where they make the number 1 lead pencil, but anyway, from when we moved to Shelbyville, Tennessee, when I was 3 years old, I was playing in the sandbox, and my mother came and picked me up, said we're going on a trip. Well, the trip wound up that night at 3 years old. I wound up going into an orphanage. So from the age of 3 till I went to college, I grew up in 2 orphanages, one in Tennessee and one in Georgia. From there, I went to college. I went to college in Arkansas. I went to college in Oklahoma, and I went to college in California. Somewhere along the line, I got this real big desire to learn and to study and to know how things work. And in the process, I wound up getting uh, PhDs and stuff like comparative religions and psychology. And later, I began doing even more studies, learning more modalities, and getting more education. And it became learned got I've got over, I don't know, 30 different master teaching certificates in different modalities dealing with energy and healing and hypnosis and all kind of different stuff. So I was also back at 25 years ago. I really cared about people, and I was the pastor of a non-denominational church back when 5,000 members was a lot of people. Uh, that was a long time ago for me, but uh, over the years, from helping people and working with people, I wound up becoming a healthcare consultant to the medical industry, focusing on the geriatric or the senior population. And myself and my staff, we get to work with all types of medical facilities, from hospitals and rehabilitation facilities, skilled nursing facilities, memory care units, assisted living, home health, companion care, and hospice care, all kinds of different things. Now, where we differ and where what we do is different is most people most people want to know why this happens, and they study and look for things about why. Well, as a modeler, myself and my team, we look to model excellence. In other words, we're looking for what works. We don't study why things work. We study how things do what they do. See, from a structural point of view, how gets to the foundation and the structure. Why is like a dog chasing its tail round and round and round. Why gives you stories and explanations that may or may not work, and how gets results. That's especially true when dealing with memory loss and degradation of neural pathways. Here's a couple of what a couple of people have said. One lady said, Betty Graham says, Dr. Vetter, I want to thank you for your help. Your practical little tools give me quick relief, and it improves my life in ways I wasn't aware of at the time. My family time is so much more joyful as I no longer worry about memory loss. Janet Tucker said, Doc, this works so good. I got to get my sister and her husband to use this stuff too. In fact, just the other day, I was with Janet and her sister, and we were at Starbucks, and she turned to her sister and said, sis, I don't know what I could say to cause you to go inside and convince yourself that this program is what you and your husband need now. But if I could say those words in just the right tone and just the right voice, that sure would feel good now, doesn't it? Now, I don't know about you, but when she said that, it made me feel very, very good. Working with seniors, I've developed an overriding desire to help them enjoy a comfortable quality of life. And the best way I've found to help them do that is to help them build new neural pathways, because everything that you do, everything that I do, everything that our parents do, from speaking, from the memory, from coordination to flexibility, from walking to driving, and everything associated with feeling free and having freedom depends on having good neural pathways for the information to travel between your brain and your body. Now, let's deal with some of the issues that happen from degradation of neural pathways and the loss of neural pathways, or signs of dementia. Some of the early warning signs can include confusion, taking longer to accomplish tasks, trouble handling money and paying bills, poor judgment, loss of spontaneity, anxiety and mood, or personality changes. For example, indirect or vague answers. When you ask, your mom, when's my brother coming home? And she responds with something really vague like, pretty soon. You know how he is. And if you ask more questions and can't get a direct answer, and the answers are pretty vague, that lets you know that she may have a problem. Deflection, which is similar to vagueness. As an example, you ask your mom, "What's in that dish?" And it's a dish that she normally tells you every ingredient and how much and when and all that sort of stuff. And instead, she normally asks, instead of telling you everything, she just asks, "What do you think?" And when you press her, she has trouble remembering all the ingredients, where she usually tells you exactly how much of everything she puts in the dish. Or here's another sign. Here's another symptom: finding things in places that they don't belong. Things like finding a purse or a wallet in the refrigerator, or a sweater or a glove in the freezer, or something like reading glasses in the washing machine. And you ask, and if you ask your loved one where those things are, the response is they're not sure where they put those things. And misplacing things and having trouble retracing steps is a good symptom sign of dementia. When someone has dementia, it diminishes quality of life and interferes with daily living. It interferes by it interferes by a decline in mental ability, and the longer it goes, it moves from a loss of mental ability to physical ones. This also interferes with family members' daily ability of quality of life, especially the caregiver who has to give more and more care to the person with dementia. Changes in behavior or something that's out of character for the person, such as quick tempered when they usually are the opposite, irritated or frustrated easily when they usually aren't bothered by things. Personality changes can happen before memory loss or confusion in some forms of dementia. Behavioral and temperamental changes that go for more than a day is a warning sign that some form of testing or evaluation should be done. The inability to finish daily tasks like balancing checkbooks or driving to a familiar place, getting confused or lost with familiar tasks. One person, one client said there's hope because she says after only a few days of using one thing out of the Stopping Dementia program, I see more of that old spark in mom's eyes, and she remembers more, and me too. It feels good to have such a program. I'm glad we find this exciting. That was Michelle Hathaway who said that. The number for the different forms of dementia are pretty scary, and it gets worse than that. The number we're going to be giving you have gone up. As you probably already know, memory care, dementia, and Alzheimer's of all kinds is the fastest growing area in the medical industry. There is more demand for memory care units and facilities than any other disease. And that was before what I'm about to tell you. This information comes from the Alzheimer's Association, and they report that every 67 seconds, someone in the United States develops dementia. And that's only half the picture, because every 67 seconds, somebody develops dementia, but every 67 seconds, two people are affected by dementia because you have to have someone to take care of the person who develops dementia. So that's two people every 67 seconds that are affected because of dementia. The last listed numbers has it that 3.2 million women and 1.9 million men have dementia, which is 5.3 million people over the age of 60 years. Now, they say the statistics also say that by 2025, the numbers will be 7.1 million cases of dementia. By 2050, the numbers are estimated to be 13.8 million. And they say that this year, 700,000 people will die from dementia. Now, these numbers are bad enough, especially when you add in the fact that every number except the death numbers, you have to double because these people, not only is the person with dementia being affected, but also the person that has to care for them, the caregiver, is affected. Now, the new information about dementia as we add it in is going to almost double even these numbers, the ones that we're presenting here. The new information coming in from doctors all over the world is that they're starting to reassess and re-diagnose things that they had missed before. And now they're finding dementia in people under 60, all the way down, not only just the 50s and 40s, but also all the way down to the 30s. There's many cases of people at the age of 30 being diagnosed as having dementia, which is almost doubling all of these numbers. And it's moving dementia from an elderly senior problem to an adult problem. So more and more people are getting it. And the problem with dementia is that it's a long-term disease. It starts one way and winds up another way. It gets worse and worse. Um, Currently, in the medical industry, the prevailing belief is that there's no cure for dementia. The major belief is the best that can be done is to slow the progress of the disease, possibly mask the symptoms, so people can hopefully have a better quality of life. As far as the pharmaceutical side of the medical industry goes, there seems to be having a hard time finding drugs that can help long-term patients who have dementia or Alzheimer's or memories. They're they, like most of the medical industry, are focusing on changing the chemical component in the bodies to address the problem. Because that's what that pharmaceutical drugs are. It's basically chemicals trying to adjust what goes on in the body. And we all know what happens when you introduce foreign chemicals into the chemical factory called the human body. It helps in certain areas, but it always creates more and more problems, more and more symptoms, more and more things to be on the lookout for uh, when you introduce an artificial chemical into the situation. We're not against the pharmaceutical industry, as some people get some relief from them. However, we do not address the issue from a chemical point of view because we'll let the chemists do that. Remember what we said? We address it from a structural and a neurological view. Everyone in the industry is agreed that the cause of dementia, Alzheimer's, and memory loss is a loss or degradation of neural pathways. We're all familiar with the results of what degradation does. It's loss of memory, loss of muscle control, loss of speech, loss of body functions. Ultimately, the person becomes invalids and has to be taken care of from that point. Most of the non-pharmaceutical activities are designed to be triggers to hopefully make connections to stored memories. Everything from playing games, singing songs, listening to music that was popular when the person was young, looking at or reading old scrapbooks, magazines, newspapers, and yearbooks. And another component, paying special attention to diet and exercise, are just a few of the activities used to hopefully reactivate the mental connections needed to enjoy a decent quality of life. What we've done is we've asked structurally, what are the activities and the drugs attempting to accomplish? What are they trying to stimulate? What are they trying to imitate? What are they trying to duplicate? What's the structural difference between someone who has dementia and someone who does not? Well, we've already known from the tests that we've done before, the structural difference between someone who has dementia and someone who doesn't have dementia is the person without dementia has more neural pathways. They they don't need they don't need to be building new neural pathways because they already are building new neural pathways. And just like any town or any city, wherever you live, if the infrastructure is not taken care of and if it's not repaired and not restored, what happens is traffic comes to a standstill. And that's the problem with neural pathways. And that's what happens with dementia, Alzheimer's, and memory loss. Like we said before, everyone in the medical industry agrees that dementia is due to a loss or degradation of neural pathways. The drug companies are addressing it from the chemical side, adjusting adjusting chemicals. The non-pharmaceutical therapists and activity directors are attempting to trigger memories and enhancements. Well, we work alongside them with what's being done currently, but we the best analogy I could give you is that what seems to be happening now with the current uses and the current solutions is it's almost like filling potholes. You can fill a pothole in a road so you can get down to it, but the longer it goes, the pothole gets bigger and creates more of a problem the longer it goes. So what we're wanting to do is address it from another angle where we can replace, repair, and provide new neural pathways to happen. What the system has done for me, it's done some wonderful things. My memory is very good, and it improves every day. Another thing is I'm extremely creative, and this is what I'm extremely creative, and I get things done. It my clarity about what I need to do, when I need to do it, and how I need to do it has become sharper and sharper and sharper because of the exercises that we provide with this program. And what I want to let you know is that, as one of my clients said, my dad is way more active than he was before I started doing these easy exercises with him. His mind is sharper, his humor is back. He seems more comfortable in his own skin, and I don't know, but I think having him lead me through the exercises are good for me too. I have less stress, and the future does look brighter. So it seems we both have less foghead, less clouded thinking, and we both have sharper minds. Thanks so much for the program. That that was Maddie Matt. Clark Williams writes in, sent us a testimony and said, I live across the country from my folks, so I couldn't do the system with them 2 or 3 times a week. So I took Dr. Vetter's advice and hired a companion, a sitter, to go by 3 times a week for an hour and play the system exercises with my mom and dad, and made sure my parents did the same thing with the sitter as well. It gives my parents a sense of control and the feeling that they're helping someone else, and they both feel better. And like that, the interesting thing is the earlier test that we did, that you and I did right here on this webinar, is the key. That's the start. Instead of having to worry about whether your parents have dementia or not, you can do that simple test and see if they are a likely candidate for developing dementia because they're not building new neural pathways. That test that we did earlier is what we use and what you use to see if someone needs to build more neural pathways, if they need, and why they need to do it. Because now that you know how to test, you're able to know what needs to be done more effectively, which means you'll get to feeling confident, safe, and happier faster about your parents. And once you do that, you're on your way to getting exactly what you want. You're here because your parents and your loved ones aren't getting any younger, and as they are getting older, things aren't working like they used to. You're also here because you don't really know what to do to help them or yourself in this situation. And you're here because I can teach you how to do that. If you want that kind of help and those kinds of results, let me show you what I'm excited about. We've developed a system to stop, prevent, and reverse dementia. There's 4 extremely powerful yet easy to learn exercises and do their mental exercises that once you learn them, you can do them with your loved ones 2 to 4 times a week for 20 minutes and see results. The first little exercise is designed to hook up all your energies so you can begin to hold the new neural pathways being built. If you don't have the energy hooked up, if your energy is not working properly, it's hard not only to build new neural pathways, it's also hard to let them stay in place. The second and the third exercises are designed to loosen up the set patterns you already have and create more and more flexibility by creating new neural pathways, because as you're adding these new neural pathways, your range of possibilities will increase. The fourth exercise is one of my favorites, as it's not only helps loosen up the old patterns that we have, it helps you put your internal pictures, your sounds, and feelings in their proper place, so you can continue to get more clarity and control. And one of the things that seniors want more and more is they want more clarity and they want more control, because when their pictures and sounds and feelings aren't where they're supposed to be, they don't have any clarity and they feel like they're out of control. And when you're out of control, you don't have any confidence in yourself or the ability to move forward and enjoy life. And that's what the fourth exercise does. In addition to that, we've added two bonuses to this program, two bonuses to the Stopping Dementia system, that they're both actually standalone programs that can be used outside of the system, but these are perfect for the Stopping Dementia system. The first bonus gives you a way to build self-image, self-esteem, and self-worth that anyone with dementia, Alzheimer's, or memory loss problems can really appreciate. See, self-image is how you see yourself. Self-esteem is what you say about yourself to yourself, and self-worth is how they work together. Now, with your self-image improved, your self-esteem worth, and your self-worth improved, you begin to operate in a more useful way for yourself. You begin to have more confidence and more clarity. And when you have that, everything changes. Now, as I said, that program is a standalone program that you could use even if you didn't have dementia or Alzheimer's, but it's one of the bonuses. The second bonus is a tool you can use to powerfully and easily remove the fear, the worry, the stress, and strain that comes from dealing with dementia. And you can probably get rid of a lot of negative emotions in under 15 minutes and feel good now. See, the second bonus is something that is a tool that we use with a lot of our patients, both young and old, who have, whether they have dementia or not, it's a tool that helps them to get control of their own emotional state of being. When you remove the energy charge of negative emotions, they no longer bother you. They no longer hook you or cause you problems. And that's the second tool. We call it the circuit breaking tool, because it breaks the cycle and breaks the energy of negative emotions, and the negative emotion dissipates, falls apart, and goes away. We're doing this webinar because we're looking for some more case studies to round out our program. We only need 10 to 15 more case studies. We want some more people getting great results with themselves and their loved ones all along the continuum of memory loss back to good memory, preventing, stopping, and reversing dementia and Alzheimer's. That's why we're presenting this special offer to you. You have no risk, zero risk. If you do this program 3 times a week for 60 days and you see no improvement in your memory, creativity, or clarity, we'll refund the cost of your product, no question asked. This is for your loved ones, for the people with dementia, and even for people who just want to improve their own memory, their creativity, and their clarity. Have the person who takes you through the exercise or takes your parents through the exercise write down on a scale of 0 to 10 how you feel before you do each exercise, and write down what number you feel after you do each exercise. And keep a log for 60 days. And if you do not see any improvement, we will gladly refund your money, no questions asked. How much better will quality of life be? Imagine what life would be like if you didn't have to worry about your loved ones getting dementia or needing to be watched, or they can no longer drive for fear that they couldn't find their way home, or not having enough coordination to keep from falling and hurting themselves, or getting a call from a neighbor saying your parent is sitting outside in their underclothes and it's 40 degrees outside. Those are some of the issues that we've dealt with over and over and over again. How good would it feel to be able to have a loving, thoughtful conversation with your loved one, no matter how old they were, and their mind was still sharp, clear, and able to recall wonderful memories? Well, here's what we have for that. The normal cost of the Stopping Dementia program is based on an hourly rate of $300 an hour. 4 hours for the basic program and 2 to 3 hours for the bonuses comes to $2,100. Now, we're not going to charge you that. If we taught this as a weekend training course, the cost would be $795, but we're not going to ask for that either. One of the major pharmaceutical companies wants to get the program from us, and they want to sell it for $495. All these prices are cheaper than the cost of current solutions being available today. But today, you can get the Stopping Dementia system plus the bonuses. They can remove all the fear, the worry, the stress, and strain around dementia, improve your self-image, your self-esteem, and self-worth for only $197. And for the first 10 people who sign up today, you get a 1-hour session with me. And it's for free. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a $300 value that you can get for free. And we don't even have to deal with anything dealing with dementia. We can deal with any issue that you have, because we work and we help. Not only do we help seniors, but we also help all adults and children resolve issues that they have. Any problem that you have that you need to be addressed, we can help you get results that you'll be very, very pleased with. So right now, what we want to do is we want to open it up for questions and answers. And JJ, just when you get some questions or answers, just let me know what they are. For example,
okay, will do.
If you have questions about dementia signs and dementia symptoms, if you have questions about the dementia stages, do you have questions about how to test someone? How to use the system, how to pay for the system, all that sort of stuff. For example, I'll start out with a question that I got from Mary Ann. She asked, "Can I get this later next month?" Well, Mary Ann, the answer is yes, you could get it later next month, but I don't know what the price will be then, because this special price of $197 is only available now because we're looking for a few people, 10 to 15 people, to give us some feedback and response and testimonials about this program. So the best thing to do is just go to the stoppingdementia.com holiday bonuses there at the bottom. Click on that, or let them. I'm sure they'll put that into the chat, so you make it a live link, so you can click on that and just go get signed up today. When you click on the Stopping Dementia button, a holiday bonus button, it will take you to a PayPal page where you can use any credit card that you have. You don't have to be a member of PayPal. You can just use that, and they will be glad to, and it will help you through the system. When you get done making your payment, you will receive an email with a link in it. You can click on the link. It'll take you to the download page where you can download all the information. We have videos. There's 6 videos, and we also have written PDFs, because I like to have both the video and the written part, so that I can use either form that I want. I've bought a lot of programs over the years and only got video, but with this program we give both the video and we give the PDF, so you can follow along either way. Because once you learn this program, for example, if you just learn the easy way to test that we give you, in which I told you, which we went through, and you felt the evidence in your own physical body, you can do that with someone else. And the interesting thing, when you do these exercises, you'll feel it in your own body. You'll feel it. Not only will the senior that you're helping feel it, but you'll feel it as well. So that's some of the wonderful things that you can do using this program. Anything, JJ? What do we have from anybody?
I got one question from Jim saying, if he gets the program, can both his parents use it?
Yes. The interesting thing, this works for both parents, and what can happen is once they learn to do it, not only can they do it, not only once they learn to do it, they can do it with each other. Because see, the beautiful thing about this program that I really enjoy is it not only helps the person with dementia, what it basically does is whatever stage of dementia they're in, it will stop it right there and retard it a little bit. Okay, and the more you do it, the more it helps improve the memory and all of those areas. And the interesting thing is when you have them do it with you, it also helps you. It will actually, people who actually use this program and then have the patient do the exercises with them wind up putting themselves in a place where they are very unlikely to get dementia. In other words, it'll prevent you from getting dementia. So not only does it stop, but it reverses where the person is, and it also prevents people who don't have dementia, if they're using these exercises, it will prevent them from getting the issue. So in my mind, that's another reason to go to Holiday Bonuses and get started today and get your download now. JJ, anything else?
No, I think that's all from the questions. So I think you can wrap it up.
All right. So this is the end of our program for tonight. And if you have any other questions, you can send them into stoppingdementia.com/contact. So thank you for joining us, and we will talk to you later.